Hello, Walking Dead fans, and this is the channel and of course video where we talk The Walking Dead. Now I want to introduce my new format, and at the end of this video I want you guys to tell me if you like this format, this podcast format, or do you want me to go back and you want to see my expressions. But other than that, let's get right into it. This is a prediction video and we're talking The Walking Dead 147, my predictions on what may happen. And of course, I'm not saying I'm a genius. I'm not saying this is definitely going to happen, because you know what? I'm kind of an idiot. However, I do want to speak my mind. So let's get right into it. Now, of course, as you can see in some of these images, we have The Walking Dead, and we have pretty much in an open field, we have Andrea, Lydia, and Carl on the cover. We have leaves blowing. Leaves blowing always, there's a sign for something to come, right? It's dark, it's gloomy, it's ugly. I don't know if it's just, it is nighttime. It's definitely nighttime, but a little rain coming. I don't know. Who knows? El Nino. Anyway, last chapter we had basically everybody reeling from the attack by the Whispers, mourning, angry. Eugene being at Rick's house, discussing what they may have to do between Andrea and Rick, and not saying that, listen, I love Eugene, what he said. Like I said in my review video, that he's a smart man. He knows this revenge is going to take time. However, Eugene really hits it over the head. If you're in a Walking Dead universe, you're going to have to think of this as a possibility. But Lydia is Alpha's daughter. You have the enemy's daughter. I mean, it's a low blow. It's a cheap shot. However, what Alpha did, even though she did it for dominance into a warning sign, it just goes unpunished. And right now, everything's open. There's no deflate gate or whatever. I mean, if you want to pop those balls, pop those balls. So, though, it's a tricky thing to do here. It's a tricky thing to do here. With 147, we see this image. We automatically assume that Lydia may die. Lydia could die, and Lydia probably will die. Because we saw the 148 cover, we saw Alpha really in tears. So, and then we know Negan's going to play a huge factor in the war. But we're not there yet. We had to get through these chapters. And honestly, Eugene, Rick's really going to... I don't know if Rick would do it, honestly. Knowing Rick, with the conversation between Maggie, Rick said, why would you do that? Why would you kill Gregory? What the fuck is wrong with you? Have you learned nothing? That's Rick's beliefs. But he knows his back is against the wall, and maybe that's why he's going with Negan on this, the council. But he knows his back is against the wall. He knows that the people they thirst for blood. They will go march their ass down there and they will start a war, no matter if there's a zombie horde or not. So Rick, hearing Eugene's words, even though Eugene is pretty calm in that panel, he's pretty calm. However, it's such a delicate situation, since Carl is in love with Lydia and he loves her. He pretty much at this point loves her. Andrea, I think the real question would be, is Andrea on board with this? Does Andrea think that, that's a great idea, Eugene? Listen, how long we don't even know Lydia. We don't even know what she's up to. Maybe she's scheming something. And that's automatically what we're thinking as well. Is, like my last video, do you trust Lydia or not? Of course you're not going to trust her, because she just barely got into the group and she is Alpha's daughter. So, going from 148, because we saw 148, I am going to predict this upcoming chapter that Rick will say no. Rick will say, Eugene, you're crazy. We can't do that. She is part of our gang. I talked to Alpha. I saw Alpha. Lydia is innocent in all this. I know it's a strategy, it's a strategy that we need to go for, but I won't allow it, because who are we? Then that makes us no better than Alpha, basically. So I think Rick will say something like that. I'm going to go something crazy here. I'm going to say Andrea will talk to Rick in private, of course, like they always do. They always have those conversations. And I think Andrea will say, can we really trust Lydia? I think she will be the woman in his ear saying, I don't know if we could trust her. honestly. I mean, her mom is alpha. Not necessarily saying that Andrea wants to throw her to the wolves, but she knows, like, Andrea is just like us. She's cautious. She knows that, hey, I don't think we could trust her, Rick. I'm not saying we go kill her. I'm not saying, we use her, but I'm saying we can't trust her. So I think she'll say that to Rick in a private matter, maybe. And I'm sure we're going to have this cover suggesting that Andrea may be wanting to get to know Lydia a little bit more. Of course, Carl being there. And because she considers Carl pretty much her son now. I mean, they're one big happy family, and she wants to know about this girl. She wants to know if she could be trusted or not. Now, I know my viewers have said, Lydia may kill Andrea in the long run, and if she does, Rick is losing his mind. Rick will kill her, and that could be another possibility, another route for this chapter, a surprising route. It could be an oh fuck moment, and it could set this up because we see the three of them out alone in the dark. Lydia may well kill Andrea in the next chapter, and I am absolutely scared. With The Walking Dead, we always think that deaths are going to happen all the time, and that's not the case. Deaths happen quite rarely recently. I mean, we've got those oh shit moments, and then I think that's what makes us go, holy shit, a lot of people are dying. But it takes a while. It takes a while when somebody, gets off. But what a shocking moment that would be if Lydia kills Andrea in this next chapter, just for Andrea wanting to get to know her or something like that. I'm saying that's a possibility. I'm not saying that may happen. That's not what I think will happen, but it definitely is a possibility. So while I'm talking, I'm just thinking, like, what could happen? What would the realistic reaction be? But with Carl, I mean, Carl's a huge factor in the decision that Rick is going to make. And of course, Carl will fight against it. I don't know if Rick will talk to Carl in the next chapter about this whole situation. Maybe, probably. I mean, it makes sense because everybody's going to be talking about, oh, look at this little girl. She's Alpha's daughter. We may be having some people who try to go after Lydia in the next chapter. Say, fuck this. We need to go. That's that bitch's daughter. That may very happen as well. So, I mean, there's so much that could happen in this next chapter, but I will predict that Rick will have an intimate moment again with Andrea. Rick will say no about the proposal with Eugene. Of course, Eugene, I think, is going to go bonkers. I think he's calm, cool, collector right now, but I think he already has his mind set. I also think that Andrea in this cover is really trying to get to know Lydia, but then again, there is that route where Lydia will actually, do the shocking moment where she'll betray. We'll see the betrayal from her in this next chapter. It could also go the way of Lydia dying in the next chapter, but I think it's really going to be it's kind of hard because the 148 is Alpha crying, and just like, what's the meaning of this? What's the meaning of that? This chapter very well be, I believe, a setup to the next chapter, and that's the chapter of 148. I think this upcoming chapter is definitely going to be a huge setup to something to come that's very devastating, that will just bring the war to fruition, and that will allow Negan to be free. So we'll see what happens. I mean, I know it's not too good of a prediction. I know it's I'm really just throwing a lot of possibilities out there, but that's how I feel. That's how I feel with The Walking Dead, because even not the show in particular, but with the comic, I just feel like, Robert Kirkman does such a good job in surprising me that it's kind of hard to predict a lot of things that's going to happen, but I'm still fucking entertained. And I don't want Andrea to die, but however, at one point she will be, and it would be just awful, awfully sad, yet amazing that Robert Kirkman would kill off Andrea and Lydia would be the one to do it. That will set Rick over the edge. But it's Alpha crying in 148, so something may very well happen to Lydia. And if something happens to Lydia, Carl will be pushed to the brink, and I think if Lydia dies, that's it. Carl will be a villain. He'll be not a villain, maybe he'll be in the gray area still, but he'll turn to more of a violent toward type attitude. It's been kind of foreshadowed with his conversations with Negan. I still think he will kill Negan in the long run, and I think Negan will kill Rick. That's how I feel. That's my prediction right there. I'm putting all my money on that. But with the next chapter, it's going to be a huge setup, and there's going to be a lot of conversation on whether Eugene's ideals are merit or not. So we'll see. So thank you guys for listening. If you like this format, I want you guys to comment below and tell me if you want me to keep doing it like this, so you can see some pretty pictures, and hear my voice, because I have a nice sexy voice. Or you want me to go back to basically all my shenanigans and my expressions. But that is my 147 prediction. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like the video, well, if you like it, and subscribe to all my new viewers, and what up to all my loyal subscribers. But if you haven't already, please subscribe. Check out my channel, check out all my videos. I have film, anime, TV, of course that Walking Dead, and American Horror Story is coming up right around the corner, so I can't wait to do a giveaway, because I'm going to be doing a giveaway for American Horror Story once that season starts. And also Gotham's coming back on, and I had to review it because my dear grandmama loves that show, so I said I would review it for her. And don't forget, I always say this, I tell everybody, you get one. Just like Spider-Man in the Family Guy, everybody gets one. So if you have a request for me to review something, I will review it, but you only get one. I still got to work on, I believe, Sense8 on Netflix, because I got a request on that. So I'll be working on that this weekend, watching a couple episodes of that. So thank you guys for listening. I'm Dan Man. Until next time, until we talk more The Walking Dead. You guys stay safe. You guys stay awesome. See you guys.